Hey guys, I'm Karis. Fix Your Shitty Movement Monday bonus material. I want to clarify something because this is something that you really need to understand, and that is your pelvis. So everyone seems to be familiar with anterior tilt now, which is awesome, kind of, but no one really understands what's going on to create it and really how to fix it, right? And this is not going to be really a fix here because this is a process, but this is going to be, I want you to understand the differences between anterior tilt, neutral pelvis, and a posterior tilt because of my plank video. So this is my relaxed position. My pubic bone is here, my hip bones are here. You can see from my thumb that my hip bones are forward of my pubic bone. That is an anterior tilt of my pelvis. A neutral pelvis is where those are all on the same vertical plane, where if I'm standing up. So look at what that did automatically for my abs, right? And you see it even turn my tailbone down. So using your lower abdominals to hold you in a neutral position is the promised land. However, most of us, the only way that we can really get there is if we bias into a posterior tilt. So when I tell you to bias into a posterior tilt, it's not the same thing as being in a posterior tilt. And you can try this for yourself. If you try to posteriorly tilt, it's really, really hard for me to do that standing. And really the only way is to really curl your upper spine and bend your knees. So when people tell you not to lock out at the top of a squat or a deadlift, that's really misguided advice because, what they say is that if you're in a posterior tilt, it's going to put a lot of pressure on your lumbar spine. Most people can't achieve that with their knees fully straightened. Like I said in the plank video, you can't fully engage your glutes unless you fully engage your quads. So try it. Fully straighten your knees, squeeze your quads, right? And now try your hardest to try to get your hip bones behind. The only thing you're going to do is squeeze your glutes harder, and you're actually going to be in a more decisive, neutral position, and a stronger one at that. So when you're biasing into a posterior tilt, you're not trying to actually posteriorly tilt, right? You're actually trying to really elongate those famously tight hip flexors that people are always cranking on, and feel it. Feel how that alone will elongate those muscles. And so what you're doing is something dynamic that's actually going to stretch those muscles in a way that's going to make them stick, because you're making the muscles around it work to keep that position. Otherwise, you're just passively stretching, and in all likelihood, as soon as you go about your business, it's going to go right back to where it was. So learn how to position your pelvis without affecting your shoulders, and you will reach the promised land. The shoulders are a whole other thing on their own, but I want you to start playing with that, biasing into that posterior tilt, and really feel the difference there. Feel how difficult it is to hold that position, and make sure you do it with straight knees. Team straight knees, for the love of fucking God. Stop keeping your knees soft, because when you do that, more than likely, you're re-emphasizing that anterior tilt. Take a video of yourself and prove me wrong if you can do a posterior tilt in a fully locked out position. If you can, fucking great for you, but that's the exception. Learn how to manipulate the little guys in your body so that you don't get completely pancaked by weight on your back. I'm Karis. Fix Your Shitty Movement Monday. RANT.